Every time something happens to us in life, every time we live through an experience, there are two things that are created in our brain. It's an emotion and it's a thought. The difficulty to control the emotions lies in the fact that the amygdala, which is the alarm system, this is the thing that says, be careful, this is dangerous, and this is the things that creates emotion, that reacts. Amygdala receives the signal of the event that you have witnessed in 0.02 seconds. And the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical thinking part of the brain, takes 0.05 seconds to receive it. So we're talking that when you see something that happens and it travels in your brain, the alarm system in your brain, the part that reacts, it receives that, it perceives or receives that in 0.02 seconds. And the part that say that will be able to control it and not and say, don't be impulsive, don't react to it without thinking about it, takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0.05 seconds. So the prefrontal cortex takes more than twice the time than the amygdala to receive that message, to process what happened. Let's say that the experience travels to the town, that to the emotion town, and then it arrives to the thinking town. That's why it's so difficult to understand. It's so difficult to control ourselves to things that happen around us. That's why it's vital that if we want to get to the point where we're going to control the way we react, we have to pause that train, because we know that train is going to cross emotion town before it gets to thinking town. If you live in emotion town, if you're impulsive and you react, you're the kind of person that reacts before thinking many times. Things that, if you do things that you regret, if you're a reactive person, then you're allowing that train to get to you, to emotion town, and that's where you just impulsively react. You just let it go, instead of saying, okay, let the train pass, let's wait till it gets to thinking town and the prefrontal cortex, and then we can do something about it. Let's just wait a little bit, guys. Which, if you think about it, the time between 0.02 seconds and 0.05 is nothing. But when we have not learned to control our impulses, that can look like an eternity. And at the same time, that is something that can make us, that it will make us pay dearly. And we can make many mistakes in that little time if we don't have the discipline to say, hey, let's wait till that train gets to thinking town, and then we can see what we do about it, instead of just let it arrive to emotion town and explode from there. Being a coach, I lived through that. Reacting in sports is very easy to see it with athletes, how if they miss or if they win, you see the reactions that they have, especially when they don't do things well and when things don't go well. But you see that happening also. I mean, that can happen at work, that can happen in school, that can happen in relationships as well. When you see people that relationships is something that you can notice it as well as you do in sports, because some people with emotions, they don't have the control, they can explode right away. So the next time that you go through something that you know that something that is important, you have to be prepared. The key is that you have to be prepared before you jump into the experience and think, okay, I know that there is something that could happen here that could affect me, that could hurt me a lot. So I really need to have that discipline to say, hey, if something bad happens, if things don't turn out the way I want, I have to be able to say, stop it, let that train arrive to thinking town, and then we'll see what we do. It's not easy, especially when we have created the habit of just being impulsive, of just reacting in the moment without processing first what's going on. But once you have this self-awareness, once you have that awareness to say something might happen that is going to hurt me emotionally, something might happen that will affect me. If you see that train, if you see that thing coming towards you and you know that it's probably going to affect you, you are much better prepared. You are much better prepared than that. That's pretty much the difference between being just impulsive and being able to say, hey, hold it just for a little bit until I get to process this. It's just that little time that we can wait that will make the difference. Okay, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.